off to Nashville, Tennessee. We went to Nashville in March of 2022. One of the first things we wanted to do was to go hiking, so we went to the nearest state park. As you can see, Nashville is not a mountainous state. It's fairly flat.
So we're here, we park, we walk up here.
The Montgomery Bell State Park had so many trees. As you can see, we even found a giant fallen tree. This tree had such cool rough texture, so I wanted to show it in the video.
Imagine this is your backyard. Nice, huh?
Really nice.
Anything that kind of room. Let's go up there, it might be pretty. Wow, that's a cool view. Huh, baby?
Yeah. Real nice view.
After hiking, we had a big appetite, so we looked for an Asian hot pot.
You want to try something now? No?
After hot pot, we went to go get some dessert. That night, we also had a little bit of Mexican food. The next day, we went to visit the Historical Museum of the Lots House. It was built in 1859 and was the house in the middle of the Battle of Franklin during the American Civil War of 1864. I also went to attend the Women in Aviation Conference at the Opryland Resort. The Opryland is a hotel that was built in 1977, and today it is one of the 30 largest hotels in the world. We went to the downtown district of Nashville, Tennessee to visit the state capitol building.
This is World War I.
Wow.
The view from the state capitol is beautiful. You can see a lot of the downtown area by just standing up here. We ate barbecue downtown at a restaurant called Rippy's. My favorite place that we went to visit was Andrew Jackson's Hermitage. This is a historical museum that has over 1,000 acres of land owned by President Andrew Jackson. He was the 7th President of the United States, and he lived here in this home from 1804 until his death of 1845. Oh no, that's okay. Thank you.
You're part of the picture.
Yeah, it's so cool. Even more. Over 90% of the artifacts in this museum are real-life items that were owned by the Andrew Jackson family.
It's the house that used to make food.
What is that? Is that like a... Oh, is this like a well? That's so cool. Wow. Wanna go check that out real quick? This is Alfred's cabin. Alfred Jackson was a slave for Andrew Jackson. He was born and raised on the Hermitage. Alfred took care of President Andrew Jackson, and when Andrew Jackson died, he continued to stay on the Hermitage. He then eventually worked as a guide for visitors when visiting the museum until his death. This was the first little home that Andrew Jackson and his wife Rachel Jackson lived in before building the big hermitage that we see now. This is the spring house. This was where water would be located at.
Out at the field quarters. Our nature trail will lead you there if you like. The trail is picked between 200 and 300 pounds of cotton per day. And it was rough on the hands. The surrounding shell of the cotton ball is dry and prickly.
All this land we see was a field for cotton growing.
We invite you to pick some cotton if you see any, but be careful. Tony.
Andrew Jackson's wife, Rachel Jackson, loved to garden. The museum still maintains her garden today.
Lay out a 1-acre pleasure garden for Rachel.
Tony.
And visitors here to the Hermitage would always leave accounts of their stay.
You might remember poking your head in the doorway and discovering this was an outhouse, once referred to as a necessary in polite company. When the Hermitage opened as a museum way back in 1889, there was no indoor or outdoor plumbing available. This necessary served the needs of visiting tourists up until the 19th.
The home too, you know?
Yeah.
You can also find the Andrew Jackson Family Cemetery here at the garden.
In the back.
Oh, this is his, honey. It's really big.
Oh yeah, this is Rachel.
Uncle Alfred na.
We ended our trip in Nashville, Tennessee with indulging ourselves in lots of delicious foods.
Whoa, that one's good one.
They have PE chicken dumpling.
Oh, that's okay.
This was my favorite restaurant from the whole trip. The item you see here is called a steamed bao with hot chicken. This is the Sichuan wontons. This is the char kway teow. It's a Malaysian street food noodle. This is the Korean twice fried wings. And of course, I had to get some boba tea in Nashville. And that was our short trip to Nashville, Tennessee.